HOA fenced my ranch without rights, so I bought the land holding their only gate access. The morning sun barely broke through the heavy Texas clouds when I found my ranch's northern fence torn down. Jagged metal posts lay scattered like broken bones, and bright orange spray paint screamed HOA property across my family's century-old oak gate. I stood frozen, my boots sinking into the dew-soaked grass, staring at the devastation. Karen Whitmore, the HOA president, had finally crossed the line. For years, she'd harassed me over my ranch's unkempt look, claiming my horses and wildflower fields ruined her vision of a pristine gated community. But this was war. Karen had no legal claim to my land. My great-grandfather homesteaded these 200 acres long before her cookie-cutter mansions sprouted up. Yet, she'd convinced the HOA board that my fence was on their easement, a lie she pushed with her trademark smirk and a wave of her manicured hand. I'd ignored her petty fines and letters, thinking she'd tire out. I was wrong. That morning, her hired crew had ripped through my boundary like it was nothing, leaving my horses spooked and my heart pounding with rage. I clenched my fists, vowing she'd regret this. I stormed to the county records office, my pickup kicking up dust as I sped through town. The clerk, a soft-spoken woman named Marla, confirmed what I suspected. My deed was ironclad. The HOA had no rights to my land, and their easement was a fabrication. But as Marla pulled up the maps, she hesitated, her finger tracing a thin strip of land just beyond my northern border. "This here," she said, "is a private access road. The only way in or out of the HOA's gated community. And it's for sale." My pulse quickened. The seller was an absentee owner, unaware of the HOA's antics. An idea sparked one so bold it made my hand shake. I spent the next week in a frenzy, liquidating savings and calling in favors. By Friday, I bought that 10-acre strip for $50,000, a steal for its leverage. The access road was now mine, and with it, the only gate into Karen's precious neighborhood. I didn't tell a soul, not even my ranch hand, Javier, who'd been cursing Karen's name since her crew spooked his favorite mare. Instead, I waited, knowing Karen's next move would come soon. It did. Saturday morning, Karen strutted onto my property, her heels sinking into the dirt, flanked by 2 HOA board members and a surveyor. She waved a clipboard like a scepter, declaring my rebuilt fence non-compliant and demanding I tear it down or face a $10,000 fine. Her voice dripped with condescension, her eyes gleaming with the thrill of control. "You're not above the rules, Clara," she sneered, tossing her blonde hair. "This is a civilized community, not your personal petting zoo." I let her rant, my silence unnerving her. Then I pulled out the deed to the access road and held it up. "Funny you mention rules, Karen," I said, my voice steady, "because I just bought the land your gate sits on, and I'm locking it tomorrow." Her face froze, the clipboard slipping from her hand. The board members exchanged panicked glances, but Karen laughed, a sharp, brittle sound. "You're bluffing," she spat. "You can't block our access. We'll sue you into oblivion." That night, I hired a crew to install a heavy steel gate across the access road, complete with a padlock the size of my fist. By dawn, the HOA's entrance was sealed. Karen's Mercedes screeched to a halt at 7 a.m., her horn blaring as she screamed into her phone. Neighbors gathered, their luxury SUVs piling up behind her. I watched from my porch, sipping coffee, as Javier whispered, "Boss, you're a legend." But the real twist came when Marla, the county clerk, arrived unannounced. She wasn't just a clerk, she was Karen's estranged cousin, and she'd been waiting for a chance to expose her. Marla had dug deeper into the records and found proof Karen had falsified HOA documents to justify her land grab, hoping to force me to sell my ranch cheap. The confrontation unfolded at the HOA's emergency meeting that evening, held in their lavish clubhouse. Karen stood at the podium, her voice shrill as she blamed me for extortion. The room buzzed with angry murmurs her neighbors were trapped, unable to access their homes without my permission. I stepped forward, Marla at my side, and laid out the truth. Karen's forged easement, her illegal fence destruction, and her plan to bully me out. Marla held up the county records, her voice shaking with years of pent-up resentment. "She's been lying to you all," she said. "Karen's been skimming HOA funds for her own legal battles, too." The room erupted. Neighbors turned on Karen, their questions sharp and relentless. A retired lawyer named Tom stood up, his face red. "You told us Clara was the problem, but you're the one breaking the law." Karen's composure cracked, her eyes darting for an exit. She stammered, "This is a misunderstanding," but no one was buying it. When a neighbor demanded an audit of the HOA's finances, Karen's face went pale. She'd been caught, and the weight of her lies was crushing her. By the next morning, the HOA board had voted Karen out. The police were called to investigate her fraud, and whispers of lawsuits against her spread like wildfire. I unlocked the gate as a gesture of goodwill, but not before posting a sign. Access by permission only Clara's ranch. Karen's Mercedes was gone by noon, her mansion listed for sale a week later. Word was she'd moved to a condo in Dallas, her reputation in tatters. Marla, meanwhile, became an unlikely hero, her quiet courage inspiring the community to reform the HOA's corrupt practices. Standing on my porch, watching my horses graze under a now-clear sky, I felt a weight lift. I'd fought for what was mine and won, not just for me, but for every underdog Karen had tried to crush. The wildflowers bloomed brighter that spring, as if the land itself was celebrating. Sometimes, justice isn't just a courtroom gavel at a gate, a deed, and the truth lay bare. What do you think? Was I right to buy the access road and lock the gate? Or did I go too far? Share your thoughts. Where do you draw the line between standing your ground and seeking revenge?